Tonight, before you drift into sleep, perhaps your heart is carrying more than anyone realizes. Maybe you have spent so many years being the strong one that no one notices how tired you have become. You answered the calls. You solved the problems. You worried about the children long after they became adults. You cared for aging parents. You carried financial concerns quietly. You learned to smile even when your heart felt heavy. And somewhere along the way, you forgot what it feels like to set the burden down. Perhaps there have been nights when sleep would not come easily. Nights when your mind kept revisiting old worries, health concerns, family struggles, loneliness, questions about the future, questions about growing older, questions you never speak aloud. And maybe you have wondered how much longer you can keep carrying all of this. But tonight, I want you to hear something gentle. Your exhaustion does not mean you are weak. It means you have loved deeply. It means you have cared faithfully. It means you have been fighting battles that many people never even knew existed. And I have seen every one of them. I have seen the quiet tears, the sleepless nights, the prayers whispered into the darkness. You do not have to fight every battle alone anymore. Come to me, you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Before you close your eyes tonight, let me remind you that I have never stopped walking beside you. For a long time, you may have felt as though no one truly understood the battles you have fought in silence. People may have seen your strength, but they did not always see the cost of being strong. They saw your smile, but they did not always notice the weariness behind your eyes. They saw you continue moving forward, yet they never fully knew how often your heart whispered, I don't know if I can keep doing this. But I knew. I was there. I was with you in the hospital waiting rooms where uncertainty felt overwhelming. I was beside you at funerals where words seemed too small for grief. I sat with you during long nights when sleep would not come and worry seemed louder than peace. I watched you pray for loved ones who wandered far from home. I listened to every prayer that felt unanswered. I saw the disappointment you hid from others. I saw the moments you encouraged everyone else while quietly needing encouragement yourself. I saw the loneliness. I saw the fear. I saw the courage it took simply to keep going. And through every season, I never stepped away. Even when my presence felt distant, I was near. Even when your faith felt tired, I remained faithful. Even when you questioned whether anyone truly understood, I understood completely. You never needed to explain your pain to me. I have counted every tear. I have carried every sorrow close to my heart. And because I know your pain so completely, I also know the wounds you rarely speak about. Some of those wounds have been hidden for so long that they have become part of the way you move through life. Perhaps there is grief you never fully allowed yourself to feel because others depended on you to stay strong. Perhaps there are regrets that still visit your thoughts in quiet moments. Words you wish had been spoken, conversations that ended too soon, relationships that changed in ways you never expected, people you loved who are no longer here, dreams you once carried with hope that slowly faded with time. And somewhere along the way, you learned how to carry these things quietly. You learned how to say, I'm doing fine, even when your heart felt weary. You learned how to keep serving, keep helping, keep showing up for everyone else, while your own soul longed for rest. Maybe you have even been disappointed in yourself, disappointed that you still feel sadness, disappointed that some prayers remain unanswered, disappointed that healing has taken longer than you imagined. But listen carefully tonight. I am not disappointed in you. There is no shame in being tired. There is no failure in feeling overwhelmed. You do not have to pretend with me. You do not have to hide your tears. You do not have to perform. You do not have to earn my love. I have loved you in every season. I have loved you in moments of confidence and in moments of weakness. I have loved you through every question, every struggle, every sleepless night. And perhaps tonight is the night you realize that you have carried these wounds long enough. Tonight, you do not have to hold them so tightly anymore. For many years, you have carried responsibilities that felt too important to set aside. You worried because you cared. You planned because you wanted to protect the people you love. You stayed alert because somewhere deep inside, you believed that if you stopped holding everything together, Something precious might fall apart. And without realizing it, concern slowly became burden. Responsibility became exhaustion. Love became heavy. Perhaps tonight you are thinking about health tests that still leave unanswered questions. Perhaps your thoughts drift toward retirement, finance, or the uncertainty that comes with growing older. Maybe you worry about children who are struggling, grandchildren finding their way, or the quiet fear of becoming forgotten as the years pass. And these concerns have followed you into the night. They sit beside you when the house becomes still. They linger when sleep should be coming. But listen to my voice now. You were never created to carry tomorrow alone. I already stand in your tomorrow. I have already walked into the places that seem uncertain to you. Nothing surprises me. Nothing catches me unprepared. Nothing is beyond my care. So tonight, take a slow breath. Allow your hands to open. Imagine releasing the worries you have been gripping so tightly. Exhale the fear. Exhale the pressure. Exhale the belief that everything depends upon you. You do not have to control what only God can carry. You do not have to fight every battle by yourself. And as your heart becomes lighter, there is one more invitation I want to offer you tonight. Come a little closer now, and let your heart rest in this quiet moment. You have been carrying so much for so long. Worries that followed you through the day. Concerns that waited for you in the night. Questions that never seemed to leave your mind. But tonight, I invite you to place what is heavy into my hands. Imagine yourself sitting beside me. No longer rushing. No longer striving. Simply being present. And one by one, bring your burdens to me. Bring the names of the people you love. The children you still pray for. The grandchildren you think about often. The family members whose choices keep you awake at night. Place them gently into my care. Bring your concerns about your health. The aches you do not speak about, the appointments you have been anxious about, the uncertainty you carry about the years ahead, give those to me as well. Bring your financial worries, the fear of not having enough, the questions about the future, the responsibilities that seem larger than your strength. Place them here. Bring your loneliness, the empty spaces, the quiet evenings, the conversations you miss, the companionship your heart still longs for. You do not need to hide any of it. Nothing you bring to me is too heavy. Nothing you entrust to me is forgotten. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are sharing it with me, and I carry these burdens without strain, without weariness, without hesitation, because I care for you deeply, because you have never been meant to walk this journey alone. And now that your hands are no longer full, allow me to remind you of the promises that have always belonged to you. For a long time, you may have wondered if my promises still belong to you. Perhaps there were seasons when life became difficult, and hope felt quieter than it once did. Moments when prayers seemed to linger, unanswered. Moments when your faith was present, yet your heart still felt weary. And perhaps you questioned whether I was still near. But listen closely tonight. My faithfulness has not changed. Not through the passing years. Not through losses you never expected. Not through disappointments that left their mark upon your heart. Not through nights when tears became your only prayer. I am still with you. I still go before you. I still walk beside you. I still strengthen you when your own strength feels small. I still hold your hand, even when you cannot feel my touch. I have never forgotten your name. I have never overlooked your story. I have never stopped caring about the things that matter to you. When you feel uncertain, I remain steady. When you feel weak, I remain strong. When you feel alone, I remain near, like a loving father speaking gently to a beloved child. I whisper peace over your soul tonight. You do not need to fear what lies ahead. You do not need to carry the future upon your shoulders. I am already there. I will guide you. I will sustain you. I will provide what you need for each new day. And even now, as these promises begin to settle softly within your heart, perhaps something inside you starts to relax. Perhaps old fears loosen their grip. Perhaps weary places begin to breathe again. And when my promises settle into your heart, even old memories can begin to soften. There are places within your heart that have waited patiently for tenderness. Places you learned to protect because they once hurt too deeply to touch. Memories tucked away in quiet corners of your soul. moments you seldom revisit because they still carry traces of sadness. Perhaps there were opportunities that slipped away, dreams you held carefully that unfolded differently than you imagined. Perhaps there are faces you still miss, voices you wish you could hear one more time, conversations that ended before you were ready. And even now, years later, certain memories can still bring an ache that surprises you. But tonight, you do not have to walk back into those memories alone. I enter them with you, gently, patiently, without judgment, without asking you to pretend that the pain never existed. I sit beside you in those moments, in the hospital rooms, in the empty houses, in the seasons when your prayers seem to echo back in silence, in the disappointments that taught you how fragile life can feel. And I bring compassion into those places, not condemnation, not regret, only kindness, only understanding, only the assurance that nothing you have lost has escaped. My notice, the years may have changed many things, but they have never changed my love for you. And though I do not erase every memory, I can soften its edges. I can bring peace where there was once fear, comfort where there was once loneliness, hope where there was once sorrow. Little by little, what once felt broken can begin to feel held. What once felt empty can begin to feel sacred. And as healing touches your memories, let my peace spread through every room of your home tonight. As the night grows quieter around you, perhaps you can sense a gentle stillness settling over your home. The busyness of the day has faded. The responsibilities have become silent for a little while. The worries that seemed so loud this morning no longer need your attention tonight. And in this peaceful moment, imagine me, walking softly through your home, moving gently through the hallways that have witnessed so many seasons of your life, through rooms filled with memories, through spaces where laughter once echoed, through places where tears have also been shed. I stand beside the photographs that tell the story of your family, faces you treasure, people you still pray for, children who live far away, grandchildren who fill your heart with hope, friends who have remained faithful companions through changing years, and even the empty chairs hold precious memories, memories of those who are deeply loved and dearly missed. Know this tonight, love never disappears, and neither does my presence. I place my peace over every bedroom, over every doorway, over every window, over every conversation that still needs healing, over every concern about finances, over every fear about health, over every uncertainty about the future. I bless the relationships that matter to you. I watch over the people you love. I remain near to those who are struggling. And while you sleep, I continue to care for what you can no longer carry. There is nothing left to prove, nothing left to earn, nothing left to hold together by your own strength. Now there is nothing left to prove, nothing left to carry, and nowhere you must rush to be. And perhaps, for the first time in many days, or maybe even many years, your heart can simply be still. There is no need to keep watch tonight, no need to stay prepared for every possible problem, no need to rehearse conversations that have not happened yet, no need to solve tomorrow before morning arrives. You are safe in my care. You have spent much of your life protecting others, providing comfort, offering wisdom, being dependable, standing strong when others needed someone to lean on. But tonight, beloved one, you do not have to carry that role any longer. Not for these few quiet moments. You do not need to hold yourself together. You do not need to hide your weariness. You do not need to prove your strength. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe deeply. You are allowed to be cared for. As your shoulders soften, allow your breathing to become slower. A gentle breath in, a slow breath out. Feel the tension leaving your body little by little. Feel your thoughts becoming quieter. Feel your heart settling into peace. Imagine yourself beside still waters, beneath a sky filled with quiet stars. A soft warmth surrounds you. A gentle breeze passes by, and I remain beside you, watching over you, protecting you, loving you. For I do not sleep. I do not grow weary. I watch over your family. I watch over your home. I watch over every prayer you have entrusted to me. You do not have to remain vigilant tonight. You do not have to carry what belongs in my hands. Simply rest. Simply receive my love. Simply allow yourself to be held. And as sleep gently approaches, allow your spirit to rest completely in my presence. Now let us rest together in a quiet prayer. No striving, no rushing, no need to find perfect words, only a weary heart being gently held by a loving Savior, Jesus. Tonight I release this day. I release the moments I cannot change. I release the conversations that still linger in my mind. I release the worries that followed me into the evening. I release the burdens I was never meant to carry alone. I release my fears about tomorrow. I release my concerns about my health. I release my questions about the future. I release the responsibilities that have weighed heavily upon my heart. I place them into your loving hands. Hold my family close. Watch over my children. Bless my grandchildren. Comfort those who are lonely. Strengthen those who are hurting. Bring peace to those who are afraid. Guard this home through the quiet hours of the night. Let your presence rest upon every room. Let your peace settle over every thought. Let your comfort reach every weary place within me. Jesus, I trust your timing. I trust your goodness. I trust your faithfulness. Even when I do not understand. Even when the path ahead feels uncertain. Even when my heart grows tired. You remain steady. You remain near. You remain loving. Tonight, I surrender what I cannot control. Tonight I choose peace. Tonight I choose trust. Tonight I choose rest. Wrap me in your presence. Calm my mind. Quiet my soul. Let me sleep without fear. Let me awaken with hope. For your peace is greater than my worries. Your love is deeper than my sorrow. And your hands are stronger than every battle I carried today. Sleep now. Beloved child, the battles you carried today are resting safely in my hands. And my love will remain with you until morning comes.